God to me is someone that I can turn to whenever I'm going through troubles, whether it's at home with my family or at school or outside of school.
To me, God isn't a symbol like a cross. It's not like one specific thing. God is more of a resource for me.
He's someone who's always there for you. He's like this overpowerful being, but also your best friend. He's a mentor, and he's a spiritual leader, and he is love.
God is love, and love is awesome. And I think that when we all come together and like in relationships with other people, so you really see God and you really see love, and when someone helps someone.
There's one specific like role or word that I could pick, but God is the one that I'm closest with. I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh man, I'm tired. And then the first thought is like, I'm already starting praying. It sounds kind of weird, but it's the truth. I mean, when I need advice, when I just need support and strength, when I have something to celebrate.
Well, I don't know if you remember back in like 7th grade when my knee was giving me problems. Yeah, I visited a specialist that my mom found. He quickly found that it was not my knee, in fact, that it was my hip, and that if he did not find it within the next month, that I would be permanently paralyzed from the waist down. So right there is really when like I noticed when God was really looking down on me.
Little things in life that keep you going, get your mood up, like keep you being happy. That's what I think God is.
When I was little, one of my favorite things was just being ushers with my brother and shaking people's hands.
You know, as a kid, you always come here, you know, it's just Sunday school, you're just coming because your parents are making you go. But really, it becomes a part of your schedule and part of who you are.
We used to get dragged to church. I remember that as a kid. The more we would come, the more it was like, you would say you didn't want to go, but you kind of did want to go. And then you genuinely wanted to go. And there would be some days where my mom was like, oh, I'm just going to sleep in, it's all right. And I was like, no, we're going to church. So, I mean, it was, I'm thankful, grateful for my parents for kind of forcing us to go to church.
I participated in a Christmas musical for, I think, from when I was in 1st grade through 6th grade. It was so exciting. On like rehearsal nights, we got to stay up until 10 o'clock, and it was like, oh my gosh, we have to get up tomorrow and act. And it was this big thing. I would invite all my teachers, and it was that joy of that experience. But now in hindsight, like I've realized how much seeing like Jesus' story in real life, in flesh and blood, how much that's helped me. I mean, even this year at the Maundy Thursday service, when they did the reenactment of the Last Supper, it was so beautiful. And it was like just, I mean, it's one thing to read the Bible and hear the story, and it's beautiful, but to see it and to feel it like with people you know, it makes it that much more real.
And I think youth group was a great way for me to connect with kids my own age and have fun with kids my own age, to understand the big things in life that we learn through God.
I remember starting out with Fingerprints of Faith way all those years back. I'm not sure if there was one set moment. It was just like all the trips that I've ever been on has really come together and said, I am a Christian. That's what I want to do.
When I was confirmed, that was a huge part really as to what really got me going and wanted to get involved.
The more I was around other Christians and people who had similar beliefs to me, it kind of helped me to grow and be more confident in my faith. Because if you're the only one there who's like, yay God, you're going to be cheering a little less loud. But when there's a whole group of you, you're all going to be like, yeah God! And it's going to get the message across more. And I think that it's all about spreading the love of God and stuff. So if you're spreading the love with other people, then you'll spread more love.
During the youth groups and during the youth functions, you just got to bond with these people and really become guilty by association for Christ.
I specifically remember playing dodgeball with rubber chickens at church or some church event.
Because of the student activities that I've been a part of at church, like Bible, especially Bible study and girls' night and the luau's and just all the youth group activities, that has meant so much to me to have a group of people, of adult mentors and peer friends to do life with, because they get it and they understand it.
Some experiences that helped me stay on the path of Christianity was definitely mission trips, and just being able to help other people in need with a bunch of kids, and also the confirmation group, because you're with around the same people that are in your same age going through the same situations, so you all connect on the same level.
Like ASP, Rise, that was awesome. For a week you get down there, you just get to build houses with people, you get to talk about God. It is really awesome because it's just this crazy bonding experience that you just get to really just lash out for Jesus.
After ASP, we had just finished our deck and everything, and like I was looking at the deck and I was like, oh, I know how to build that now. Like I was looking at my house and I'm like, someone had to put that wall up. Someone put a lot of time and effort into that wall, and we brush it off like it's nothing. But like there's all that caring in there. Maybe they weren't super careful when they did it, but you know, the thought's there. We did the same thing for people who didn't have anything, and they're just as grateful, if not more.
When I was little, church wasn't an option. Church was, it's Sunday morning, you're going to church. And I kind of resented it for a while. And as I grew older, I never really found my place in the church growing up. And I think that was really hard to find where I wanted to be until about 3 years ago, when Mrs. Thorpe called me up begging me to teach kindergarten Sunday school. And at first I was like, I don't know about that, that's a lot. And then I finally said yes, and that really changed my life. That was huge for me to actually find my place. And I felt kind of old to be doing it because it happened when I was in high school instead of when I was like in 8th grade when it should have happened. But I think that's okay, because I think that everybody kind of finds their way at a different point in life.
When I went on ASP for the first time as a freshman in high school during the summer, and our homeowner at the beginning of the week, he wasn't very sociable with us. We tried as hard as we could to get him going, get him talking with us, and by the end of the week he was making lunch for us. He really showed how grateful and appreciative he was of the work we had done, but really it was just God's work that we were doing, and we were all doing it for him.
The love that I experienced there, it was unlike anything that I have ever experienced. It's so important that people experience that love, because when you can experience it yourself, then you can believe it can be true. And if it can be true on a human level, then it helps you to believe it like in terms of God. God loves you, because if people can do it, most certainly God can. And if other people can do it, then you can do it. And then you can share it. And then we have this like love revolution, and it's a beautiful thing.
This year I started helping teach the 6th grade. They're a lot of fun, and they've taught us a lot. Like you see like the passion and the energy that they have. It's an honor to help be a part of that.
My experience at Trinity has helped me realize that service is a really big deal in my life. It's very important to me.
What can I do to get involved and do work for God? And they offer those opportunities, the church offers these opportunities, and taking part of them is such a great decision that I made. I'm so glad I did.
I think church is like a family, really. We're all here for each other, and it's a safe place to go.
One of the great parts about the Methodist religion is that anybody is welcome. It doesn't matter what happened in your past. It doesn't matter what you grew up as. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter who you are. You're always welcome in this church.
It's a nice place. It's cozy. It's comfortable. People like you.
My favorite service is definitely the Christmas Eve service. It's so special, and like it really feels intimate with God. Holding the candles is one of the best part, where we're all singing Silent Night. It's just a really special moment.
When you're playing in the church, it's all spiritual. You get it, you get into the mode, you get into the tune, you start, the beat comes in, the song really picks up, and you're just gone. It's just like you're above where you're supposed to be, and it just feels amazing, because you feel like you really are telling people about Christ, but in a totally different way.
And I was on the Ocean City Youth Weekend in September, which was a blast. I had so much fun. I had met so many people, and I've made a lot of friendships through that. At the worship service, that was the time that I understood in my being the meaning of the word worship. Worship, I was always like, oh, that's just a word that means you go to church. Okay. No, you are in relationship, and you are actually worshiping God. It was the coolest thing when it dawned on me.
I know at DeSales they have groups that go out and do community service stuff like Habitat for Humanity, so it's definitely something that I see myself being a part of throughout all the 4 years there, as well as staying involved in Trinity and church here because it's close by.
When next year comes around, I'm really hoping to get in a lot of volunteer things, because I think that that's another way of showing love, which is God.
If you just follow your heart and what you desire, you can do great things with your life.
Through Christianity and the church, I really become the person that I am, and I like to consider myself a friendly person. So I mean, I'll say hi to a random person, or give high fives or stuff. So I feel like that's something that will carry with me no matter where I go, whether it's Connecticut next year or beyond that, or the world at large.
There's one lesson I've learned in the last 4 from high school that I will definitely take with me, and that is community. I cannot go through life alone, and I'm not meant to go through life alone.
People are really looking out for you, and God is really looking out for you.
I'm going to bring this idea that Methodism has kind of imprinted in me that anybody's welcome, and that you should always accept anybody, regardless of who they are. They should be accepted. And I think that's going to help me in life. That's going to help me be a better person.
Some lady actually at Rite Aid the other day, she said, it was a really nice day outside. I'm like, oh, I wish I could be out there too. And she's like, just let your sun shine in here. I was like, oh, that's really great. I will do that.
Trinity is like a second family, so to not involve it with your future would pretty much be like moving out.